Back-to-back Warner Brothers here, number 25.
Coward Todd.
He'll be back.
Get him!
My hand, swear eternal loyalty to Zod.
Superman 2. Superman 2, great successor to the first one. I know the Salkinds, they did mess with this movie, but Superman 2 is still great. No matter you're watching the Richard Lester version or the Donner cut, which the Donner cut, it is my preferred version. But Superman 2 is great. Superman 2 is great. I like everything about it. I love everything in it. Can't go wrong with Christopher Reeve. Because without him, you wouldn't have Superman on the film. '24.
Let's have it.
Have what?
Your report. What have you been doing?
Oh, well, for the past 3/4 of an hour, I've been sitting on my ass in your outer office, waiting on you.
Damn it all, Harry, that's the mayor you're talking to.
Clint Eastwood. Detective Harry Callahan. You don't assign him
Stop!
to murder cases. You just turn him loose.
Now, what the hell is he doing up there?
You feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk? Dirty Harry. The original Dirty Harry. The one that started it all. There is a lot of dark elements in this movie. But Dirty Harry is a great film. Clint Eastwood is great as Harry Callahan. Great direction. Great writing, the rest of the great acting here. And all 5 Dirty Harry movies are great, but this is the one that started it all. Because of course, without the first film, you wouldn't have the other Dirty Harry movies. So, Dirty Harry is awesome. Number 23.
This is Godzilla's world. We just live in it.
Damn right.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Not the American, not the 1954 one. I'm talking about the 2019 sequel to 2014's Godzilla. The human characters are not the greatest. Okay? I fully acknowledge that. But Godzilla movies, most of them you don't go for human characters. You go to see Godzilla. Unless, with the exception of a few of these movies where you do get to care about the human characters, like the 54 one, to a certain degree 2014. Even a few of the older films, but Godzilla King of the Monsters was a nice setup that sets everything up for Godzilla and Kong to fight very well. Mothra was really beautiful to see on screen. Rodan was pretty awesome with his fiery volcano Voltor-like look. Ghidorah was badass in this movie. And Godzilla himself was also badass, especially in that final fight in Boston where they cause crapload of destruction, and when Godzilla throws Ghidorah down into a building after he gets his head webbed. I can't wait for Godzilla vs. Kong next year in May. Because, again, crazy times we're living in right now. And it's a shame that this movie kind of underperformed at the box office because those people who don't really watch YouTube videos all day, most people, they didn't even go and see it. And because of some of the mixed reactions, that is a shame. Number 22.
The Lord of Hosts will do battle for us. Behold his mighty hand.
Cecil B. DeMille hits with the 10 Commandments. 1956. 10 Commandments. Almost great 4-hour long epic, 3-hour long epic with the intermission and overture. But I love it. I love the 10 Commandments. This was a tradition that my mom and her mother had, and now my mom passes it on to me. And we watch this every Easter. Charlton Heston. You couldn't really mess up the 10 Commandments. And this is one of my favorite. Well, this is my favorite Bible films. So the 10 Commandments holds its place at number 22 for a reason. Number 21. The Hidden Fortress, my favorite Akira Kurosawa movie. I saw this back in 2011 on DVD from a Criterion collection that I borrowed. And The Hidden Fortress is great. The main influence for Star Wars. Toshiro Mifune, the two mishaps, and of course, the princess. Great music, great direction of writing, just everything about it rocks in its own merits. Now we're into the top 20 and we will conclude.
Halloween, the night he came home.
Halloween. John Carpenter's Halloween, the OG Halloween, 1978. The one that gave us Michael Myers in that William Shatner mask that they used. John Carpenter at his best, and this is his best film. Halloween, the movie that launched Jamie Lee Curtis's career. Michael Myers, great icon, great iconic kills. Dr. Loomis, the late Donald Pleasance. You can't get no better than that. And I like all the Halloween movies in the franchise. And I can't wait for Halloween Kills in October. And then Halloween Returns in October next year. So the franchise will be coming to an end for good. The only one I kind of have a problem with is the Revenge of Michael Myers. But even with Revenge of Michael Myers, I do enjoy. And to a certain extent, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007, even though that movie has a lot of things wrong with it, especially the white trash dialogue. But Halloween 1978 is the OG. Respect the OG. Number 19. This is gonna be a bit of a controversial pick, but I don't care.
What happens if I fail?
Then Zion will fall.
They need you.
I need you.
What if the prophecy is true? What if tomorrow the war could be over? Isn't that worth fighting for? Isn't that worth dying for?
The Matrix Reloaded. This is my favorite of the Matrix movies. Story-wise, it's a bit all over the place, a little bit. But the action delivers. You have the freeway chase, which is one of the best car chases ever put on film. Neo fighting all the clones of Smith and doing the 360 kick with the pole. Persephone, Monica Bellucci, and Keanu Reeves, where she has him kiss her. Tongue twister there. Carrie-Anne Moss, Lawrence Fishburne. Matrix Reloaded is an underrated sequel, and same with Matrix Revolutions. The first Matrix is great too, but this is the one I watched the most. Number 18.
It's about the power of the glow. Timok, Vanity. Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon, directed by Michael Schultz, a Motown Productions picture from TriStar.
Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon, or simply put, The Last Dragon. A childhood movie of mine. Last Dragon is one of 1985's best, and is one of the best of 1980s. Just 1980s fun at its best. Motown soundtrack written all over it. Vanity, may she rest in peace. Julius J. Carey, Shonuff, who may also he rest in peace. A lot of actors has passed away from this, except for a few of the surviving actors. Timok, Chris Murney, Glenn Eaton, etc. Great soundtrack. Shonuff is an awesome villain. Leroy Green, one of the best protagonists, who's awesome. And a lot of fun martial arts. So if you're into martial arts, you'll love this. Watch The Last Dragon. Number 17. year before The Last Dragon. 1984's Wes Craven's original, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund, he owns that role. He always. Even though I love Jackie Earle Haley's Freddy Krueger, that movie does have some problems, but I still enjoy the 2010 version. Heather Langenkamp, there's the true Nancy. Johnny Depp in his first film debut. A lot of hell went into getting this movie made and getting this movie out to the world back then, and it was for the better, because A Nightmare on Elm Street 1984 is definitely one of my favorite scary movies ever. Definitely my favorite Wes Craven. Probably my second favorite Wes Craven movie is between this and Scream. But Nightmare on Elm Street, you can't go wrong with Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 16.
Hold on to your butts.
We're being hunted.
The third Steven Spielberg movie on here, Jurassic Park. If I was going to do a top 100 favorite movies of all time to celebrate my 22 years, this had to be on it. Well, I'm not 22 yet, but by the time this is uploaded, I will be. But Jurassic Park is a fun, awesome film, and I enjoy it a lot. I have fun with this movie a lot. Jurassic Park, the movie that made dinosaurs, awesome. Great animatronics, great CG, still holds up to this day. Sam Neill, Richard Attenborough, Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, Samuel L. Jackson. The Jurassic Park theme. Just think about this movie. It puts a smile on your face, and I have fun every time I rewatch it. Number 15.
The piece.
Let's finish it.
Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No. 7.
One of 2 David Fincher movies. 7 is a great crime thriller. It's very gritty, it's very dark, it is very intense too. David Fincher and Andrew Kevin Walker crafted a really well done script. Very intense to watch, especially with your family or your girlfriend, if you have one. But this is a good movie. Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt. I got a tongue tied again. I don't know how many times I can get tongue tied in this video, or tongue twister. Gwyneth Paltrow, Kevin Spacey as the villain. The 7 deadly sins: gluttony, lust, wrath, envy, sloth. You can't go wrong with 7. And 7 earns its place here because it is one of the best thrillers I've ever seen. Number 14, the animated Mulan. Back when you could have female empowerment in a movie. You hear me? All you people who whine about Ellie in The Last of Us 2. Having a female character in a video game, movie, and or TV show or comic book is not woke. I did a full 55-minute long review for this and I'm really happy how it turned out. Go watch that review. You will see everything I have to say about it. But Mulan is one of the best animated movies ever. One of Disney's best films. Mean to Win, Eddie Murphy, B.D. Wong, the late Miguel Ferrer, animation, great songs. My favorite Disney princess ever in the character of Mulan. Everything about that movie is great.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Gladiator. Gladiator. Yes. Are you not entertained? This celebrated its 20th year anniversary. Not gonna say too much about Gladiator because I still am planning to do a review for this year. If not, this hopefully later on this year. But I'm just gonna say Gladiator is definitely one of Ridley Scott's best movies. Russell Crowe's best performance, Joaquin Phoenix, Connie Nielsen, gorgeous. And this brought back the swords and sandals like genre. And followed by a few other movies along the way. But not gonna say too much about Gladiator because I will be reviewing it. Number 12.
In an extraordinary romantic adventure. From Ang Lee, the director of Sense and Sensibility. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Excellent film by Ang Lee. This is his best movie. I like Ang Lee as a director. I love his 2003 Hulk. I know some people don't. I got problems with that movie, but it's still good. The Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is definitely one of the best films you will ever see in your life. Great action, a compelling story, great character development from all the actors in this movie across the border. a lot of wire work. This was the early 2000s, so you get a lot of early wire work, and it is awesome. Great cast as well. Chow Yun-fat, Michelle Yeoh, Chang Chen, Z Zhang, who will later go on to be in Memoirs of a Geisha and Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong. Watch this movie. Great story about secrets, strength, and two warriors who don't surrender. Amazing story here, and amazing performances here. Watch this movie, y'all. I'm not playing. Watch this film. You will. It is excellent. Number 11.
Silencio. Silencio.
We got some David Lynch going on here, and that is Mulholland Drive. I watched this for the first time ever in May, and 2 hours and 27 minutes. Let me tell you, I love David Lynch's direction, his screenplay. The way he's able to tell this story is amazing. It's really amazing. Justin Theroux, Naomi Watts, Laura Elena Herring, Ann Miller, Robert Forster, a cameo by Billy Ray Cyrus, great music by Angela Badalamenti, great editing, great twist in this movie. I did not expect to see that twist coming. That twist was amazing. Not to mention, you have a pretty cool lesbian scene. That's a little something for the guys out there. But Mulholland Drive is definitely David Lynch at his best. This is his best movie I've ever seen. Now it's time to get down to the top 10 of my favorites of all time. The Passion of the Christ. I finally made up my mind about this movie because for the longest time I've been very on and off about The Passion of the Christ. I hated it when I first saw it, even though I was not supposed to watch it. Then I reviewed it and I thought the movie was okay. But then, after sitting on this movie some more, I've grown to love it. I don't know why I even said that I kind of regret watching this movie, because this is a great story of Jesus. Yes, it is graphic. Overly graphic. Yes, I still have the problem of not understanding what these characters are saying. And while the violence does get a little bit too heavy-handed, The Passion of the Christ is still a great movie. It's not torture. porn for Bible. Come on, critics. One of the highest grossing R-rated movies, right next to Deadpool 1 and 2 and Matrix. Jim Caviezel, definitely a performance that should have been Oscar worthy. Monica Bellucci, you can't make her ugly as Mary Magdalene, because she's still gorgeous in this movie. Maya Morgenstern, Mel Gibson's writing and direction, the beautiful cinematography, the great score. I love the score. Everything about the Passion of the Christ is really good, except for the little nitpicks. But I do hear that the Blu-ray does have a English version of the movie where you can watch the movie in English, and it's actually in English with English voices dubbed. So I'll probably check that out at some point. But this movie is not for the faint of hearts, so I'm just letting you know. If you don't like the movie, that's cool. But as a Christian, this is my second favorite Bible film. 10 Commandments will always be number 1. Number 9.
An hour of wolves!
Lord of the Rings trilogy. I started with Return of the King back in 2009, then watched Two Towers back in 2012, and then in 2013 I went with the Fellowship of the Ring. So I went backwards with this. And the winner of 17 Academy Awards, respect for Peter Jackson for being able to take J.R.R. Tolkien's big, ambitious world and make it filmable. Because at the time, this was considered to be unfilmable. And looking at the first half of the appendices on YouTube for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, you can tell that Peter Jackson, he went through hell and high water to get this movie made. And all 3 of these movies are masterpieces. No matter if you're watching the theatrical cuts or the extended editions, which I prefer the extended editions, even though I very much love the theatrical cuts. It just don't get no better than Lord of the Rings. I even love The Hobbit as a trilogy too. But Return of the King is definitely the best of this awesome trilogy. It is amazing. And the Lord of the Rings trilogy is amazing. Elijah Wood, Liv Tyler, Ian McKellen, Sean Astin, Viggo Mortensen, Orlando Bloom, John Rhys Davies, Sean Bean, Carl Urban, Miranda Otto, Bernard Hill, Brad Dourif, the late Christopher Lee, Miranda Otto, Howard Shore's music, everything about these movies is perfection. This right here is for all my Lord of the Rings fans, including Parker, Michael. If you're watching this, Parker, if you made it this far into the video, then this is for you. Number 8. King Kong. That's right, Peter Jackson again with King Kong. Saw this on TV back in the late 2000s on TNT. I had a fun time watching it. Even with all the commercials, as long as this movie was, I still had a good time. King Kong is amazing. It's my favorite King Kong movie. Adrian Brody, Naomi Watts, Jack Black, very underrated in this movie. Andy Serkis King Kong, the fight that he has with the dinosaurs, and King Kong just going around New York City at the end of the movie tearing it down. This is how you do a respectful remake to a classic film. And Peter Jackson, he got that down right. So, you can hate him for Lord of the Rings or this movie, but you gotta respect the man for his vision. Respect the man for his vision. Number 7.
Landers clan.
And the fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Who's a good pig? You little, I'll teach you to laugh at something that's funny.
The Simpsons Movie.
Look back, I got a chainsaw. The Simpsons Movie. Heard about this when it was getting ready to come out, and then I actually seen it. The Simpsons is definitely one of my favorite shows. I even enjoy the newer seasons, even though they're not as good as some of the OG seasons. But they're way better. They're way better than whatever South Park is doing nowadays. But the Simpsons Movie, you couldn't screw up the Simpsons. You couldn't. Everything about the Simpsons Movie was great for me. Seeing Homer Simpson and his family and all the town of Springfield in a animated Simpsons movie, that was good. And I'm glad that it's on the movie and the show is on Disney Plus, because I can watch it. Number 6.
We're giving you a state-of-the-art deal here.
Since I'm producing my own records, I was wondering if I could own my masters too.
Ray, we've never done that before.
That's a better deal than Sinatra gets.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx. Ray.
The movie that started my love for this musician, Ray. Ray is a great biopic on Ray Charles' life. It is. Jamie Foxx, in his best performance, he deserved that Academy Award. He earned that Academy Award. He played the hell out of this part. If it was somebody else, I don't think the movie would have worked as good. Taylor Hackford's incredible direction, and I think this is the last movie he has directed. No, he directed Parker, I think, with Jason Statham. Kerry Washington, Sharon Warren playing Ray Charles' mother should have been nominated for an Oscar. This movie should have gotten more love at the Oscars. But it got best sound mixing, which the sound mixing is great. The musical sequences is great. Regina King is also really good. Or even some of the smaller cameos like Terrence Howard and Denise Dowles and Ward Davis and Patrick Bacow. Rory is definitely one of my favorite musical films. It's definitely one of my favorite biopics I have ever seen. The rehabilitation scene I used to be scared of as a kid, But over the years, I think that scene is very well done. And it shows the horrors of what drugs can do to a poor soul. Rest in peace, Ray Charles. Georgia on My Mind, definitely my favorite song in this movie and ever of Ray Charles. And definitely one of my favorite songs I love listening to. We're into the top 5, and at number 5, we have...
What have you done?
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Are you really that surprised? Now, this is a movie that I've talked about multiple times. I talked about it when it came out, spoiler, non-spoiler, ultimate cuts, my favorite movies of the decade, analyzed review for its 1-year anniversary, even commentary that I did with some friends back in 2016, and I can't help it. I'm sorry if this movie does not work for most people. I'm sorry if you were let down by this movie, okay? Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, in my opinion, is one of the better superhero movies we got in the last 10 years. And if you don't like the movie, I 100% respect that fact. But BVS Dawn of Justice, the only version to watch is the ultimate cut, the 3-hour and 2-minute cut. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the 2-hour and 32-minute version. I did see that, but the problem with the 152-minute theatrically released PG-13 version is that there are things in that cut that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Whereas the ultimate cut, a lot more stuff makes perfectly great sense. You understand the motivation of Batman wanting to fight Superman, Superman wanting to fight them. There is still the unnecessary Jolly Rancher stuff with Lex Luthor and him being insanely over top, which I feel like if it was a different actor as Lex Luthor, I think it would have been easier to tolerate. And just the Martha thing is pretty laughable when you think about it. And of course they did put Doomsday in here at the wrong time, but as a fan of these characters and as a fan of superhero movies, I wanted to see that. And I was very happy seeing something like that. I was okay because no one else other than Zack Snyder was willing to kill off Superman. Besides somewhat Bryan Singer in Superman Returns when Superman got his ass handed to him and Lex Luthor stabbed him with the kryptonite. But this just blew out of proportion. Ben Affleck is Batman, Bruce Wayne, definitely my second favorite Batman. Christian Bale will always be number 1. Henry Cavill, my favorite Superman. I love him just as much as I do Christopher Reeve. I wish Warner Brothers would give him more solo movies because he does deserve it. The guy's underrated as it is. He earns it, especially after The Witcher and Mission Impossible Fallout. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. Great introduction. Yes, Batman kills, but at the end of the day, this is a very underrated film, and in my personal opinion, it's one of my favorites. Number 4.
She's a life ruiner. She ruins people's lives.
Gina George is not sweet. She's a scum-sucking road whore. She ruined my life.
You are a mean girl. You're a bitch.
Mean Girls. The original Mean Girls. To me, there is only one Mean Girls. There's only one. Mean Girls 2, we don't talk about that one. That never happened. I just like to erase that movie out of my mind. Mean Girls 2 sucks, by the way. F that movie. Mean Girls. Remember my sister first having this movie? And then first watching this movie? And then every time I rewatch this movie, this is one of my favorite. This is easily my favorite comedy of all time. I'm gonna have to do a list of my top favorite comedies at some point. But Mean Girls is excellent. Tina Fey's script works. Mark Waters, his direction works. The chemistry between Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Lacey Chabert in her film debut. Amanda Seyfried in her film debut. Lacey Chabert is amazing. Great performances: Jonathan Bennett, Tim Meadows, Anna Gasteyer, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey. Excellent soundtrack. Very quotable lines. She doesn't even go here. That is so fetch. The Halloween party is fun. The whole part with all the girls all in high school just fighting each other over the burn book, over the rumors in the burn book, is pretty real, because it can happen in high school, but it's also pretty funny. But I got nothing more to say about Mean Girls. I did a full-on review of it. So, Mean Girls is easily number 4. Number 3.
If a woman approaches any beast and lies with it, you shall kill the woman and the beast.
These people are insane.
Soon you will know us all only too well, with my apologies.
David Fincher's Americanized version of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I waited until 2015 to watch this on FX On Demand for free in the free movie section. This was back when I was 17 years old, by the way. Remember seeing advertisements about this, and it was interesting. It was based on a book that I never read until junior year, when I read the entire Millennium trilogy. Dragon Tattoo, Play with Fire, and Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. And watching the Swedish trilogy is after these. It's great. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is my favorite David Fincher film. It is the one I rewatched the most, even though it is pretty bleak, it is pretty dark, it is pretty brutal. But The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a really underrated film, one of the most underrated films of the last decade, and it was one of my favorites of the last decade. Rooney Mara, definitely her best role as Elizabeth Salander. Daniel Craig is Michael Blomkvist. Great cinematography, great soundtrack. And this movie is 2 hours and 37 minutes long, but it's a good slow burn. It's a good murder mystery. And David Fincher, he's not afraid to get creative. He's a director that he is my favorite director, of course, so he's never afraid to get creative. I do wish they would have did the sequels, the other two books with Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara, and after going to Spider's Web, I really wish they would go ahead and do it. But only time will tell. I mean, we're getting a show, so I will see how that goes. But The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, pretty great film, and people has gotten on to me for a certain scene in this movie involving Elizabeth, but I know that's how most guys are, manipulative and evil towards women, making them do the very most sick things. But I get it with Elizabeth's character because it's part of her character. She's going through a lot of hell in her life. And I love the revenge scene in this movie she got against the guy who had control of her money. I love that. But number 3, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. The runner-up. Number 2.
Turned into 12 clawing animals.
12 Angry Men. Watched this back in May, and 12 Angry Men was great. This is one of Sidney Lumet's best, and this is easily the best courtroom drama I've seen. This is how you do a courtroom drama right. The script and the direction is very well executed, based on a little teleplay of the same name. And the fact that you don't get to know who the names of these 12 people in the jury office during this court case of this boy who killed his father, and they decide whether or not he is innocent or guilty. And the fact you don't get to know any of their names was the most fascinating part. You sit there for an hour and 36 minutes of great dialogue, a lot of great memorable moments, fantastic scenes, and it's taking place in just one location. Great cast here. You have Peter Fonda, of course, who is the main guy who thinks that the accused boy is innocent. The rest of the cast in this movie was really great as well. Peter, of course, Martin Balsam, John Fiedler, Lee J. Cobb, E.G. Marshall, Joe Klugman, Eric Baines, Jack Wharton. Joseph Sweeney. All the cast in this movie is great. The writing is great by Reginald Rose. If you have not seen 12 Angry Men, go watch it. This movie is great. And that review will be uploaded hopefully sometime next month. Number 1 for my favorite film of all time, and it is no secret since I am a long-time fan of this franchise. That is
fighting man!
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. 3rd year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. My favorite Harry Potter movie. This is the one. This is my most watched Harry Potter movie. Alfonso Cuarón's direction. This is the one movie in the series that changed the Harry Potter series for the better, from being kid-friendly to going more a mature route. Because as the books were written, as you read the books or watch the movies, the Harry Potter series matures. We got our first sight of Dementors. Beautiful cinematography here. Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, always great in the roles as always. John Williams delivers his best score of the franchise. You also have Gary Oldman, David Thewlis, and all the rest of the cast in this movie is great, especially the late Alan Rickman. I love the last half of this movie. Just great storytelling, great scripts, great visuals, great everything about Prisoner of Azkaban. Do I really need to go on? I reviewed these movies back in 2016, the Harry Potter movies. But yeah, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite movie of all time. My favorite movie of the 2000s, and my favorite Harry Potter movie. For good reason. So, that was my 100 favorite movies of all time, aka my 22nd birthday special. No telling how long this is going to be once it's all edited together. This will probably be in 2 parts, by the way, but we'll see. But let me know what you guys think of my top 100 favorite movies of all time special down below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are some of your favorites? Top 50, top 100, whatever. All my social media links are in the description box down below. If you want to send money to my time, or if you want to send fan mail, do those as well. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when new videos are up. And until next time, you guys keep cool, join the Epictasticness, and thank you guys very much. And so happy to be 22. Bye.